Welcome back everybody. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to draw the male torso through an extremely easy draw along tutorial. By the end of this video, you'll be able to draw the male torso from the front, side and back view, and also be able to name a few of the key muscles which make up the male torso. I'll also show you how to shade the male torso. Welcome back everybody. Greetings to anybody new. I am the Character Architect. Quick note before we get started, you do not need to know all the types of muscles and their names in the body, like sternum, linea alba, rectus abdominis, and rectus sheath, because at the end of the day, you want to have fun while drawing and not turn what you enjoy into something you have to study. Knowing the names of all the muscles does not make you a good artist, but knowing how each muscle is positioned is useful. Now, let's get started. On the page I've drawn 3 heads at different angles, one for the front view, side view, and back view. I've also drawn a few guidelines to help keep the drawing proportional. You can pause the video and draw these out in your sketchbook if you want. Let's get started with the front view. The torso should be 2 to 3 heads high. Once you've marked the top and bottom of the torso, you can draw a circle with the top of it starting from the 3rd guideline, then add an upside down U shape at the bottom of the circle. This is the rib cage of the torso. Next, you can add a smaller circle on the bottom line. This will be the hip. Once you have done this, you can add 2 circles on either side of the circle you drew first. These circles will be the shoulders. The body shape of a muscular guy usually follows the shape of a Dorito, which is why the top of the torso is wider than the waist. Next, you can add a stretched out hexagon, which will be the chest of the figure. Once you've done this, you can connect the head to the torso by adding the neck and the trapezius, which are the 2 triangular shaped muscles that go between the neck and the start of the shoulders. Once you've done this, you can join the upper torso to the waist. If you want, you can draw the construction of the arms. And there you have it, the main construction of the torso is complete. You can pat yourself on the back for getting this far, but you're not done yet. Now we need to start to add in the rest of the torso muscles. First, start by adding the V-shaped muscles on the neck, which start from the ears and end at the collarbone, which will be at the top of the chest. The chest muscles come out from under the shoulder muscles and go to the center of the chest. Once you have drawn in the chest muscles, you can start to add the abs, which usually start at the top of the rib cage and go all the way down to the hip. One thing to note when you're constructing abs is that they're not shaped like rectangles, but instead more polygon shaped. Once you have drawn the abs, you can start to draw the external obliques, which are the muscles on the side of the torso. The method I use to draw the obliques is I draw a zigzag line going downwards and then zigzag lines going backwards. The external obliques extend from the bottom of the chest and go along the sides of the rib cage and extend down to the bottom of the waist. Once you have drawn the abdominal muscles, you can lighten them up with a kneadable eraser and solidify their shape. There you go, that's how you draw the front view of a male torso. I'll come back to this drawing at the end to show you how to shade the male torso. Now I want to show you quickly how to draw the male torso from a side angle. Start by adding a circle for the upper torso, a small circle for the hip, and a circle for the shoulder. Once you have done this, you can add an arc on this first circle to make the rib cage and then add the chest. Next, you can join the upper torso to the hip and start to add the abs and the obliques. Once your construction is done, you can clean up the drawing and solidify the muscles. Moving on to the back, start by adding the circles for the upper torso, hip and shoulders. Once you have done this, you can start to draw the trapezius muscles, which start from the top of the neck and extend down the same amount as the chest. Next, you can join the upper torso to the hip and add the latimus dorsi muscle, which goes around to the front of the torso. There you have a simple drawing of the back of the torso. The last thing I want to show you is how to shade the male torso. Shading helps to add volume to the muscles and makes the figure pop and look more 3D. Back to the front view of the torso, we will place the light source at the top of the object facing down, which means there will be more shadows at the bottom of the torso because less light reaches there. Start by adding shadows to the neck, which will be a cast shadow from the head, and add shadows to the trapezius muscles. Moving on to the chest, there will be a shadow down the center of the chest because of the muscles turning inward, and then there will be some shadows for the muscles which go across the chest. The chest doesn't have a lot of shading because of a lot of light will be going onto the chest. However, the chest will create a large cast shadow on the ribcage and serratus muscles, therefore there will be more shadows around this area. Moving on to the abs, there will be less light in this area, therefore there will be large cast shadows on the abs, and these cast shadows will increase in size as you shade the lower abs. The same principle applies to obliques as well. If you want, you can also shade the shoulders. Voila! Now you know how to shade the male torso. For practice, you can shade at the side view and back view if you want. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you were able to follow along easily. Don't forget, practice makes perfect. You can always send me what your drawing turned out to look like on my Instagram, which is down in the description box below. If you want to see more content like this and my upcoming drawing tutorials, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the like. That's all for today, guys. The Character Architects signing out.